Hey everyone, everybody seemed to like our spring travel bag that we did last year and showing what we put in it, and the one that we did before we went to Disney in 2017. So today I'm going to show you the updated winter travel bag, because we're fixing to take some of the little things out, like the younger kid things out that they don't use anymore, and put in some bigger kid things. This is what their bag looks like literally after our at Biltmore adventure where we took the travel bag with us. We usually don't take it with us unless we're taking a trip over an hour from our start destination. But Biltmore was like 2.5 hours from our house, so we did. This is their pencil box of colored pencils. Looks like I need to sharpen some of these a little bit. I usually try to have them sharpened before we go because it makes it easier for travel purposes. They are old enough each to use safe pencil sharpeners. I just prefer to do it that way. These princess books, I think they've used them all up, so these are probably not going to go back in there. The Star Wars book was actually added for the Biltmore trip, and it looks like most of it's still here, so that is going back in. This is a Fun on the Go travel case. It's Finding Dory. This one is Sarah's, and she used this more than she used her Color Wonder, which is one of the other reasons why I'm considering getting rid of just a Color Wonder. And I could probably like cut coloring pages down to this size for her to refill this with. So this is definitely staying for her. This is also another one of those little bitty activity pads that I can take out of here. This is Madeline's sketch pad. She has a teaching drawing book in here that she uses for it. And there's sand in here. The Biltmore trip was the first time we used our back seat since Michigan, and we went to a beach in Michigan, and there is now sand in the bag, and I vacuumed the seats out after Michigan, and apparently there's still sand because there's sand in this bag. That's hilarious. Okay, and then this is a Bible word find. Probably going to leave that one in there for them. Let's see, and these are the Color Wonders, and I may just let Rebecca finish off the Color Wonder before we just completely get rid of them, and then we're just not gonna buy anymore. And I don't know, I may do a separate bag for her just to have the Color Wonder. I am thinking of on trips where they're divided up between the seats like they were for Biltmore, of having each of them having their own backpack packed with travel stuff instead of one big travel bag for all of them. I don't know, but I may just put these in a separate bag, let Rebecca finish them off, because this one has just markers in it. This one has the books and some of the little teeny tiny markers with it that came with it. Let me see if I can open this up. Yeah, so she has a couple markers in here. Only a few sheets left. Nope, that is the only not colored sheet she has left of her Elena one. No, okay, here's the rest of it. Maybe it was her Lion Guard that she'd already finished off. Okay, so she still has a couple sheets of her Elena one to finish off, so we may finish those off, and then I think we'll be done with the Color Wonder. They're kind of just aged out of them. It's kind of sad because, you know, it's just a reality that the kids are getting bigger, but at the same time, I don't need to keep stuff around that they're not using that much, or just not using at all. This one is Madeline's Splash and Color coloring book. It has more of like the really detailed coloring, which is what she prefers. She also likes how it's only on one page and not reversible, so she can tear them out and give them to people. And she can also take some of her pieces of her sketch pad and put them in between the pages if she's using markers, and then it doesn't bleed through to the other pictures. But she really likes the details on these. She's given some of these out to people before, like on our way to places. I can't remember which one of them's Disney book this one is. I've seen Rebecca one and I've seen Madeline, so I'm going to guess that's Sarah's that, and Maria's Sarah's favorite Disney cat. This is the drawing book I was talking about. It's a Mickey Mouse and his friend's drawing book. The eraser keeps falling out of here, and then these are actually not the markers that came with it. Those also fell out of here, but Madeline's Scholar markers fit in here just perfectly. And then she still has her, and this kind of came off, but I mean, like, we take this with us, it's travel, and kids are rough on stuff. But the book is still in here, and it teaches you how to draw. You know, like, there's Donald Duck, there's Minnie. Teaches them how to draw the characters. And this is just really more of Madeline's style right here of things to do for travel. I may also start packing some more hands-on things, which I thought I did in here. There may be in here. This is their pencil sharpener they are allowed to take. That is a magnet. They had some magnet dolls on this trip too, but I don't know about those. Those did not work out really well. This was an Usborne drawing, doodling, coloring book. I don't remember whose this one is. It looks like they filled some of it in. That might be Rebecca's, and I may set this aside and just let her finish it. I don't know. That one's an iffy. I'll make an iffy pile. This one is a color in bingo card for travel, and it's reversible. We really like having these. They usually kind of fill through them fairly quickly, and then there's some things that are harder to do if you're doing all interstate travel, but it's still been kind of fun to do these. And then for a non-color in form, we actually have these. These were a Chick-fil-A kids meal, but it's the spotted ones, and you have to spot everything on your flashcard before you can move on to the next flashcard, and then we want the most flashcards at the end wins. Those actually last longer than the coloring page ones do, and I'm not 100% sure why, because it's about the same thing what's on them. This is the Mickey eraser that goes in this Mickey Mouse drawing book, and I mean it goes right here, but it doesn't stay in there anymore. I guess because like she's been using it. I guess I just need to get her like her own little pencil box for travel that she can keep in there. This is again one of the other small books. They pretty much filled these in. This one was a small book filled in from Wendy's one. This is Sarah's Moana travel pack. I'm gonna have to look through this and see if she's actually finished it off. That's actually been from a while that she had that. And then the magnets are not going back in here. Those just did not work the way I wanted them to. These are also for Madeline to use. She can use them with the colored pencils, or I've got a couple mechanical pencils in here, but it's like the doodle arts, and she can also use those on her sketch paper because that's more her style. This is actually for me. It was a donation from one of our nursing care centers here. Get this off of here because it's a staple, but it's actually like an activity book, and it has like crossword puzzles. It has word finds. It also has Sudoku in here, and you can see I've filled some of it in. But that way, whenever I want less screen time when we're traveling, it gives me something to do on the brief trips that I'm not driving. Usually if the trip's under 4 hours, then I'm usually doing all the driving just because. And then for the longer trips, I'll actually switch out drivers. This one is a Beauty and the Beast one. It looks like it actually has not been filled in at all yet. And that's either Sarah or Rebecca's. So that can stay in there. This is, let's see. Oh, it's both of them. So there's a Princess sticker pad in here. And there's a Moana sticker pad in here. I thought those would be okay with the Disney coloring books. And for the packs of blank coloring doodle sheets for them. So I did add one thing in here. So this is actually Rebecca's. She had gotten it for her birthday. In SCA we call it Kumihimo. In the modern world they call it friendship bracelet making. She's actually pretty efficient with this and can do it by herself. But I thought that would be something that was more hands-on. That way, like if she wants to watch a movie and not color, and she still wants to do something with it, she could do that with it. So I'm thinking of adding more stuff like this in there and finding more activities instead of just coloring things for them. This is also Rebecca's, but they all use it. It's the Find It Fast, and basically from what I get from the gist of it is you have to like pick out the cards that match together exactly, and I haven't completely played it with them. I think that's how you do it though, is like you flip one card over and then you have to be the first one to find the match to it, and I think you play it 2-player, but Rebecca just plays match with it by herself. And then here these are for the younger two mostly. Madeline still uses these too. There is this one pen in here, the one that has like the different colors on it. There's another color wonder marker. The Sophia the First pencils are of course Rebecca's, and she was so sad the other day she saw the final episode of Sophia the First, and she was actually really sad about it. But these are erasable color pencils. They are expensive. And so we keep them in this box. And we only use them for travel because they're expensive. But they work really well. I have found that not all of these style sharpeners will actually work on the erasable ones. I don't know what the difference is, but there is a difference. But yeah, this pencil box is just for the erasable ones. And I think all that's left in here is sand. Because there's sand in here. Is Madeline, when Madeline was like 3 or 4, my Nana had bought a subscription to her for Your Big Backyard, which at the time that's what it's called. Now it's called Rick Ranger Jr. And if you had bought a subscription for a year that year, at Christmas, you got a pair of these binoculars for free. And these are actually really nice kids binoculars. And so Madeline takes these on adventures with her. Sometimes she puts them in her backpack. So that is what was in here, and then I'm going to sort through, and then I will only show you the things that were new. Like you saw everything I said I was going to put back in here, and then I'll show you here in a minute the things that are going back in here that are new. Right now, this is the only new stuff that is going in their bags. Rebecca chose to have the Brave bag to put her Color Wonder in for now, and she really expressed desire to really keep those for right now because she really likes them. I don't know. We'll wait and see once she finishes off the book she has. She has a bunch of stickers that she received from Santa Jeff. So these are going to go in her bag, and that's the only new thing going into her bag right now. Then you saw what all was going to go back in theirs. Also, the only other thing we did was that I was wrong. The Dory book was Rebecca's. The story activity book is Rebecca's. So what's going in here. And then Rebecca is keeping the coloring sheets for the bingo. For the car bingo, and then the older girls are going to keep the flashcards. They can still swap back and forth. It's just that way there's a little less confusion of who gets to use what if it becomes a battle of trying to equal everything out. So instead of the Dory one, this is also Sarah's, and it is a princess themed one. And it's basically the same concept, and I just cannot open this with one hand. So as you can see, it's the same concept. It has crayons in here, and it has more than what should be in here. And some of these are not, some of these are different. They may have come from a different thing, and they may have put those in there so they could have other colors, because they do that sometimes. And yeah, that's definitely Sarah's, because it has a Mulan colored, and that's her favorite, absolute favorite princess. And then she still has a book of princesses to do in here. And I could always add like little doodle pads in here. Or again, like I said, you can always print more coloring pictures and then just make them smaller and do 4 per page. And Matt's really good at like doing those, especially like if we have like free printables from Disney or Crayola, and then we can shrink them down and cut them out to where they'll fit in these cases. So that's for Sarah. And then when we were at Biltmore and we ate at the Stable Inn, you saw pictures of the food on our Instagram page. We ate at the Stable Inn for lunch, and the food was outstanding. Madeline and I actually even split a main course because the food there, the burgers were so big. Her and I split a burger. The other 2 had kids meals, and they gave all 3 of our girls and my youngest niece a coloring book. My youngest niece decided not to keep hers, but so they asked to put these Biltmore coloring books in their bags. So these are going in for right now. We did decide on some ideas for crafts for the girls to go in their activity bags. So it may end up that we do put the, I'm just going to lay this down for a minute so I can talk. It may end up that we will still put the, this stuff all together, anything coloring together, and then take like the flashcards and the binoculars and all that, and put them in here. And then this is going to become a craft bag. That may be how we do it. I'll probably do another video on what idea Madeline and Sarah have had for their craft bags. And one of them will probably be on the SCA how-to, because that would be where that would better fit on the channel wise. And then Madeline's I'll probably put on this channel. But yeah, they've each had some, like I said, let's think of something hands-on that you can do. And they both, name something. And so that's what's going to go in here. So I will do another updated video before our next big trip, which is in possibly next month, or it might be in May. I don't know yet. We're still trying to work out our year schedule right now with the plumbing issues that we're having to pay for and all that. But I will definitely do another video to update you, but this is what's in them for right now. And like I said, the only thing we're adding is we're taking out some of the toddler size coloring books, and then we're adding these big coloring books. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.